to have some fun ourselves. Over here in the bottom left side, we got the Kai Z Gamer Man himself in the blue, the Zerg, Mr. Solar. No fake stump, that's right, it's clear. It's definitely clear. Anyway, in the top right side, it's the red Protoss player fighting for Raise Your Edge. And he is ZEST. It is Raise Your Edge Gaming as well, right? Raising the bar will be removed, and we're raising the edge. Raise Your Bar Gaming just probably didn't quite sound as cool. Although, you know what? You are talking about a bar at that point in time, right? So maybe that would be cool. But in a different way, which maybe they don't want to be associated with. Who knows? Alright, so seeing that third base is taken as the unnatural. The in-betweener natural. Let's see what else he's going for. It's kind of fun to see ZEST and Solar together. ZEST and Solar. I mean, neither of them really in the top shape right now. Maybe Solar a bit more than ZEST at the moment, but saying that, I'm not completely filled with confidence in that statement. I saw a bit of a question on my mind. I mean, ZEST, I saw ZEST getting back into his groove for a while, and he was magnificent, right? He was doing just absolute insane things overall. And it was quite something to behold, but all of a sudden it was kind of like, you know what, nah. We're just not going to make that work anymore like that. And he fell back into the slump again, right? For a long time he was in the slump, but then it started to get better. That's an interesting drone pool. I'm entirely certain what the plan was there. Must have been a quick misclick. Quick fix of the situation as well, though, but it's still kind of funny. Is that something we can see on the income advantage? Yeah, we can. Oh, nice. There's the first defining real thing here in this so far regular kind of straight up macro game. There's going to be a Stargate involved. Seeing this waypoint, I would assume it's going to be a Void Ray overall. I would assume it will be the Void Ray. The Pro Barras is strong. I mean, yeah, if it gets all the drones pooled, that is definitely quite something significant. So the Adept all the way to the top now. Not sure what the Adept is trying to do here. Maybe hide the fact that he is an Adept. Make Solar believe that there's a Stalker out and about. Maybe, perhaps? I don't even know. Maybe he was just looking for proxy hatcheries behind his own minerals. It's hard to say. Anyway, with the second Adept here, the Overlord will be going to move forward, see what is what. We're going to see, well, that is indeed a Void Ray on the way here. So that's going to give him the go-ahead to drone up quite a bit. Not be too worried about the entire fuzz, as long as he gets himself a Spore Crawler or two. Should still be in a pretty stellar position overall. Maybe get some Queens as well, you know. No, I would still get myself a couple of Zerglings just to hold back the one or two occasional Adepts. They do like to come in pairs after all. But Solar here doing a great job. Just kind of keeping his Zerglings out and about. We'll be able to spot the movements of the Adepts, I suppose. There we go. Sees now that there's still one over here. Sees the third base going up. I'm fairly certain he saw that Oracle as well pass on by. Let's see. Spore Crawlers are finishing up right now. One already done in the main base. The natural base is still a bit open. I would assume that you would want to have two Queens here in order to protect a base like that. Losing two drones there, a bit unnecessarily, maybe, perhaps, but it is only two drones, so. And that is with Solar realizing that he's fairly free to drone up here. I would assume that he's going to recover financially quite nicely off of this. Although we do have a lot of red spikes here. For this early in the game, that is still quite something. Solar getting the lair. And the Roach one here, also on the way. Still kind of prepping for a potential depth pressure as well, I suppose. Or some sort of a gateway force coming off the grounds, right? Could still attempt something as of the sorts, whether it's zealots involved, stalkers, whatever. It's always nice to have at least the option for the roach just right there. Because sometimes the zerglings just won't do on their own. We do have ourselves a double Stargate play though so far. A Twilight Council and a Forge as well on the way. So ZEST here, I would assume, going to be playing straight into the hand of the Storm here. Probably going to get himself some High Templar archivage going on, as the cool kids say. Overseer will come in and get a full scout off as well. As Solar looking to kind of storm his way through into an infestation pit. No Hydra Den though available just yet, is there? No, there is not. Not sure if that is because of a lack of money. I don't think it is. It does have a reasonable amount of money already. A couple of times now, so interesting to see what he's planning to do with this. Maybe just wants to get the Vipers out as quickly as possible. Maybe just wants to stay on I'm not even sure. What is he going for? Okay, Swarmhost. Interesting. Interesting. The Swarmhost, not that fantastic against Void Rays, obviously. Void Rays are quite nimble. I suppose the Storm, well, yeah, Storm also could do fairly well against the Swarmhost. As long as you're on top of things and get those storms off in time, and if you have a couple of, well, this is a problem. But then if you have a couple of those Archons hanging about as well, that should do the trick. A couple of Queens coming in. I say a couple, it's quite a few Queens coming in here to kind of keep those Void Rays on the back end. Bit peculiar, I suppose, that the Void Rays going for the main base. Normally you see them trying to deny the fourth base here. There would have been a stronger Queen presence there, but definitely would have gotten something done. I guess the main base also allows you to get a bit of a scout off here, right? So makes sense in that sense. I think fairly certain the Swarmhost did get spotted as well as the Nidus. The Nidus here on the left side of this base. Oh, I love this. One Queen, a couple of Queens actually coming in as well. Should be able to plop down some creep to make this more difficult for ZEST to actually clean up. There we go. That is the wave of Locust. May as well start dumping the Swarmhost back into the brig again. Not be too upset about that. Was this Swarmhost spotted? No, it was not. Or the Swarmhost lair, I suppose. Lair. It is going to be the Nidus Worm on the right side now as well. Only 2 probes went down. Actually, do we have a lot more? Not really, not really. So that first wave of Locust there, not achieving much. It looks like this second Nidus Worm also, well, actually barely gonna be able to get everything out of here. More Nidus Worms going up, and now a Nidus in the main base right there. Creep Tomb is also setting up shop everywhere. There we go, there's another wave. Let's see how those storms will land. So far, yeah, ZEST not paying attention. It's going to lose 1, probably 2 or 3. And yeah, that is quite the painful occurrence. Does lose 3 of those High Templar there. Losing a gate, and the Roach Queen army also on this front doorstep right now. This definitely seems to be quite effective against what style ZEST is doing here. I thought the Void Rays were going to be a bigger threat, but the Queens also coming along with the Nidus Worms definitely does provide quite a bit of a nuisance here for ZEST to deal with. And yeah, Solo just takes game number 1 off of the back of what, 2, 3 Swarmhost waves. That is quite impressive. That is quite impressive. So yeah, GG is called. ZEST has to tap out. Solo takes game number 1. Brings us along to game number 2. That will be played on Romanticide. Romanticide, where, well, where Rome men decide StarCraft 2 matches. Oh, that didn't quite work out, did it? Alright, we'll try again at some other points. It's alright. It's fine. Sometimes, you know, you try something, doesn't quite bang out the way you want it to, and sometimes it does. Anyway, in the bottom right side, the blue Zerg player fighting for Kaisi Gaming, Mr. Solar. At top left side, the red Protoss player fighting for the Raise Your Edges. He is ZEST. Raise your edges. Still not completely convinced how you raise an edge. Maybe it is just, if you raise the edge overall just from like a mathematical kind of perspective, right, to shapes, you would assume that the edge would always get sharper if you do heighten it, or higher it up. How do you even heighten it? Yeah, I guess that you could spit that like that. Right? English is a thing I can do. But I'm not entirely sure, so it's a weird thing. That was a lot of HT getting picked off right there. It really was. It really was. I mean, I'm a bit surprised that ZEST didn't try to do anything else overall. It really was just the Void Rays and then straight into High Templars. He did cut off the Void Ray production a little bit there in the end. Makes you wonder, right? What if he went for more Void Rays? Would have helped overall instead of the High Templar. I mean, he had a lot of High Templar as well, but he never really got a good bit of feedbacking going on the Queens either, right? That definitely would have helped out a ton. And then the Void Rays actually have a good shot at just target firing down the Queens one by one, and maybe then you're going to be able to start kind of turning the tables, right? Get yourself not in an absolutely abysmal position in that game. Overlord looking to creep over the edge of the Raise Your Edge gamer. Should have raised that edge a bit more. Ah, sorry, that was... Oh, that was a bad one. Wonderful, wonderful. Alright, so Stargate play will be attempted here once more by ZEST. Solar so far doing a pretty good job. Kind of scouting around, checking to see what's what. Not making too many troubles. Third base coming down. ZEST will try to get a bit of scouting information here as well with his adept. I mean, the scouting information really already, just seeing how many drones are here, right? That's a bit of an indicator like, alright, well, you're not just making a ton of Zerglings trying to run through my wall. Because you've got a ton of drones over here. Also, he doesn't see a lot of Zerglings, so also a bit of a heads up right there. We're going to have an Oracle first this time from ZEST, so, I mean, less good at killing off Overlords, but a bit better to get that earlier on, in case if you want to get as many drone kills as possible. What? Oh, that should have killed it. That should have killed it. I mean, it went invisible as the projectile was like a centimeter away, removed from the creep tumor. That is ridiculous. I mean, I know it's invisible, but that projectile was already going straight to it. I've never seen anyone miss in StarCraft 2 if they do actually, you know, shoot a target. And the target doesn't move, I suppose. Even if it does move, as long as it doesn't go into a War Prism or like a medevac or something, you will hit it. I mean, we are seeing quite a lot more being achieved with the Oracle now. 5 kills are gonna be taking place here. Even as the 6th one, I'm assuming that's a Zergling, maybe a Larvae. Something along those lines. More Oracles still in production as well, actually. Gonna go up to 3 in total. Zergling's trying to rescue the Overlords, but the Oracle not having any of that. Sticking around a bit too close to the red Protoss player there for those Zerglings. Do get severely sunburned by our Oracle presence. There it is again, the Twilight Council and the Forge. Yeah, so that's definitely doing a bit of the same, but instead of Void Rays now got himself the Oracles here. Makes me a bit worried. I suppose now he's gonna have a bigger ground presence, right? It's gonna be easier for him to deal with queens and such because he is not relying on the Void Rays to kind of keep him safe. 2 drones only going down this time around. 3 oracles will be having to make that daring escape. Being the fugitives that they are. Huh. He's double injecting the main base here. Interesting. I mean, if you keep doing that, he's double injecting the natural base as well. Very interesting. Is he double injecting every single base? I mean, it's not giving you anything, right? It's just like... I guess he's stacking it up so then he doesn't have to work on it as much. So he can do other stuff, especially later on in the game, I suppose, right? It will open you up to do some other things. Okay, now ready for Solar as well. Is he going to try to do this once more? This crazy shindig of an infestation play? I don't think so. I think that was just a one-time deal, but yeah, alright, there it is. Ooh, Hydra then getting spotted and shut down instantly. The 3 oracles on the case. The triple O's. Triplicus. That's what they call them, the Triplicus. It's the band name, clearly. Quite clear why. Blink and the +1 on the way here for ZEST. So yeah, ZEST, an entirely different approach to this entire situation here. Earlier today we saw him play the PvZ as well, and it was a bit similar to what we're seeing right now. He was hesitant to get himself into the disruptor play or like late game Stargate play. It does not seem like that is what he wants to do. He more so prefers to kind of stick on the Stark account. Make a ton of Stalkers, try to do things with the Blink upgrade, and yeah, just try to use mobility basically, right? That's what he's going to be trying to do here as well. Wants to get rid of this hatchery. There are Zerglings in the back of his army also, but yeah, still a bit removed. Nice force fields getting replaced immediately. And the base does get picked off right now. More force fields do manage to land. Then come the Zerglings though. We'll be trying to shut off the retreating path of these Protoss army forces. And that's a big deal. The Whoppers are also going to get shut down quite heavily. And now ZEST realizing, you know what, these units, they don't trade all that well against Roaches, Zerglings and Ravagers here, do they? Brings in the 3 oracles. Maybe they will be able to stop this enormous back wave of Zerg monstrosity from just running over him. Not quite, because it is running out of energy, but they're doing something, right? Maybe able to get 1 more Ravager. Nah, not gonna happen. Alright, so gets rid of the 4th base. He loses a lot of army though. Look at the gas he's lost right here. That's 8 sentries, an oracle, a ton of Stalkers as well. You have to wonder, was that worth it here for ZEST? Because, I mean, losing all that gas, that's going to make his next state in this game quite a lot bit weaker, right? Normally you would have used that gas either for the, well, still sentries or get yourself the later game tech unlocked, right? So he would have already had a couple of disruptors out. He would have perhaps had about a bit of Colossi before he went into the disruptors. Maybe he would have had the opportunity to make the Stargates and start up the fleet beacons, something like this, right? But instead, right now, we're seeing him just now starting up the disruptor play. Gonna have 2. We'll have 4 in a moment, but yeah. At least there's no Zerg army on his doorstep right this instant. It requires those disruptors to be around. So that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Stalkers. Alright. Don't get too feisty now. Nice trading though overall there from ZEST, right? I mean, he's getting what he can. Single Stalker there, a bit unfortunate. Gonna blink away from where the rest of the Stalkers went. Looking to deny some creep here. Oh, yeah, that's a bummer. It's not gonna be allowed to deny the creep. Alright, going up to 6 disruptors. We do have Vipers on the way as well. Usually, I think without anything above the disruptors, it can get quite difficult to actually get disruptor shots off against somebody playing with Vipers, right? Because the Vipers, they will be able to just kind of yoink away the disruptors, deny them their Nova shot, and then all of a sudden it's like, alright, well, that was a waste of money. Right? How many Vipers do we have? We got 3 of them. They're still suckling on the teats of the hatcheries here, so they're trying to get themselves into a position where they will be able to take advantage of the spells that they cast. A massive flank run by here on the right side being orchestrated as well. ZEST taking a bit of bile damage on the left side, but that's about it. In comes that enormous flank of Zealots. We'll be able to take out a hatchery right there. Will not be a cancel. Okay, nice dodging on the lurkers though. We'll not be able to just get rid of them for free. Just quite yet anyway. Those disruptors, they will recharge and they will try again, of course. In comes the Viper. Should be able to get him. Ooh, okay, well, does not go for it just quite yet. I thought he would try to get the Whoppers in there, but not happening. On the back side of things as well, in come the well, the disruptors, and they're on top of the lurkers right now. They are not being able to do anything against these lurkers. The army on the right side, I mean, it's doing okay. Imagine if those disruptors were actually with that army. Would have been a lot better. Okay, the Zealots now being able to tank most of the damage of the lurkers, and that is going into the favor here for ZEST. But I mean, I'm seeing 74 army supply versus... Okay, there's another big wave of Protoss being warped in. Solar does not seem too budged at all. He's gonna try to remake this base just in the face of ZEST right there. Gonna cancel those lurkers. That's a good move there by ZEST. Oh, that could be big. That is quite big indeed. Alright, still needs a couple of lurkers here. Solar, I mean, his economy's still looking alright since he took another base over here, but still has to be extremely wary of where he puts his army down. Still Whopperism around on the right side as well as on the left side. Ooh, that is... it's a fun thing, isn't it? Graphic little bug. The tongue of the Viper just kind of getting stuck on the floor there, being like, wait a moment, what happens here? Would it be cool if, like, if you managed to dodge a Viper shot like that with the abducts, that instead of the Viper just sitting there, the Viper would actually pull himself towards that location, right? Because it requires quite a bit of force, I would imagine, to yoink a Colossi or something like that. So if you then just kind of hit the ground and you miss, I feel like that all that energy should go somewhere, right? It's just physics. Just physics things. Anyway, we're moving forwards. Quite a lot of lurkers here on the back foot of things. We'll be able to keep that mostly Zealot army at bay. Especially with those Hydras there as well. Ready to pick off anything that is on the low HP by the lurkers. As long as you don't get the surround with the Zealots on the lurkers. The Zealots not that great. Right? If you just have a big ball of Zealots running into the Roaches and the Hydras, then those lurkers will be able to get a ton of the AoE splash damage. Kind of here as well. Pretty good AoE. The Protoss army on the top side is completely wiped right now. And on the bottom side, it's running in, but I'm not sure if that was completely necessary. Anyway, GG is called. Yeah, Solar just kind of holding on there for a long time. Looked like ZEST was making some headway, but in the end, just couldn't get the disruptor shots that he needed to. That brings us into a situation where it's suddenly match point for our Zerg player. Pillars of Gold will be coming in here shortly. After that, I'm going to quickly grab myself some more water because I can feel my throat. I'm asking for a bit of well, liquid to run down the walls. Anyway, here we go. Game number 3. Alrighty, 2 points on his scoreboard name. Right, 2 ticks right there. Just needs 1 more to take the entire series with a clean sweep. Prove himself that he is a bit better than the best. He is Kaisi Gaming Solar. The top right side, the Red Protoss player fighting for the Raise Your Edge gamers. He is ZEST. I like how Solar is not even bothered anymore. It's like he's so used to taking the third base location. Nah, he's like, I'm not even sure if he's still checking for a probe. He's just assuming it's going to be there. And maybe if it's not, maybe even if it's not there, he's going to put the third base as his first expansion. Because he's like, oh well, guess we're doing this now. It's interesting though, because you do get your creep spread a little bit further out initially, don't you? I guess that is the one benefit that you're kind of having in that situation. It's kind of reminding me of like a Fun Day Monday objective, right? Where you're just not allowed to take your natural base as your first expansion. And then a lot of people would probably just kind of take the corner bases, being like, yeah, I didn't take my natural base as my first. And then they just try to take sneaky bases like that. But overall, you know, if you try to do something like this, you're going to have to find the benefits of just putting a base in the, well, normally suboptimal location. Trying to find reasons why you could make that the optimal location. And one of those reasons might be, well, you get better creep spreads a little bit earlier, right? I always loved Fun Day Monday. That's a ton of fun. Ooh, the Zerglings. Oh, they get juked. Ah, getting juked again. Well, the probe actually, of course, as it's turning around like that, will still run into the visor of those other Zerglings. I say the visor, but, well, you know what I mean. The range, the melee range of those other Zerglings. He's still gonna creep a little bit further backwards. I mean, he still wants to kind of tie up all the bases together with the creep spread here. Huh. Are we going to get the Adept Glaive attack here from ZEST? I mean, it would not be a real ZEST best of 5 if we do not have the Glaive Adepts, of course. And there it is. Will be a move towards the pressure. More gateways being thrown down as well. What the hell? Oh, he was cancelling the spore crawlers. I guess he knows, right? If he's cancelling the spores, he must know that this is coming. Not sure how he knows. Did he see... Oh, another gateway? That's probably why, right? I would assume so. He didn't see anything else. It really is the gateway. I guess another stalker as well. There he goes. Well, now he sees the adepts moving out. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I would like to see where Solar was actually watching that time. Ro4 is already here as well. Solar should have everything he needs to hold this off. He's even got 41 workers. Normally, a lot in the past, we would see Solar under-droning a little bit. And then still take damage from this. Now, let's see how he handles himself this time around. Depths will shade into the main base. Zerglings may want to try to get a bit of a surround here, but need the queens as well ready to help out. That's more adepts being warped in, not on top of the main base, but will be going towards the... Actually, no. Interesting. It's kind of combining everything together now. Zerglings want to try to stay in between the shades, so they will be able to get as much surface area as possible the moment when those adepts stop getting the shades across. And 4 of them do manage to get into the main base. Those drones in a bit of a hassle right now, trying to get themselves to safety. Only 3 workers so far have gone down. The other adepts that were being warped in, I believe, either got shot down as well, or were forced to cancel the warp in because the queens were on top of the warp prison. And now we have 4 extra kills. That makes the grand total up to 6. And we have a Dark Shrine. This is quite the common response for ZEST, isn't it? After the failed adept pressure, he likes to go for the Dark Shrine. Should try to remember that next time I see him. I can be smart and be like, all right, well, as soon as this fails, most likely we'll see a Dark Shrine attempt here from ZEST. That so far, I mean, 1 out of 1 times. I've not seen work quite as well as you wanted to, but maybe this time around it's gonna do a bit better. I mean, it will come in as a surprise. We do not have any spore crawlers, nor do we have any type of a spore crawler presence. A lair, that's the one I wanted to say. We don't have anything stealth detection wise, right? So should be good here. It's gonna get scouted though by Solar, and that's a big deal right now. 3 DTs being warped in. Where are these 3 DTs being warped in, you may ask? Well, right here. On top of that 3rd base. The 3rd base is going to get under a bit of scrutiny here. That Spore Crawler not quite done just yet. Gonna get a reasonable surround there on that Spore Crawler. Trying to keep the Dark Templars off of it. That's a wonderful job right there. Just as the Spore Crawler finishes up, he knows. ZEST knows he's going to have to get out of there. He's maybe going to try to make a couple of Archons now. He's just going to get more Adepts here. Go in with the Adept Archon Ball. Zerglings on the other side of the field. Bit of a shame, I suppose, here for ZEST that most of the stuff that he's attacking with right now is good against Zerglings, and the Zerglings not really there, so... Oh, wait, well, they are coming back, actually, so... Still a pretty good thing. Adepts and Dark Templar coming into the main base as well. Not that many roaches available on the right side. DT gonna be able to move past the Spore Crawler. See what it will be able to achieve. Actually, just kind of walks into the Queen right there. It's still alive though. Zerglings managed to get rid of that Stalker, now just slowly trying to nibble away at that gateway. Who knows if they're going to get a good successful hit off there. It would be quite something. Oh my god, they're going to get it. I think Solar a long time ago, kind of forgetting about that entire endeavor. But still nice to see that somewhat working. ZEST, I mean, even though desperately kind of grabbing at straws here, I'm not seeing him grab a whole lot. The army supply is still 30, army supply lower. That is an ungodly amount of adepts though, to be fair. That truly is an ungodly amount of adepts. But that's a lot of Zerg as well. I think he's trying to bait the shade into him, so as soon as they, all the adepts will shade in, he's going to be able to take that fight very convincingly. Oh, he may go for it. Yep, he does go for it. Where's the other part of the Zerg army? Chasing down 3 adepts there in the natural base. Roaches and Ravagers. A lot of Zerglings as well. Looks like that is more than enough. We'll be able to push ZEST backwards once again. Is ZEST actually going to tap on out of there, giving up. And that's a 3-0 victory here. Clean slate.